If you want, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be my September book haul. I've accumulated books during the last couple of weeks that I wanted to share with you. I'm really excited. A few of them are pretty much as always from used bookstores. One of them is from a friend, which I don't trust. And then two of them are new. I don't buy a ton of new books, but these are newer releases that I've been trying to keep up a little bit more. And one of them is a not very well-known author. I'm trying to get into more of those books to balance it out. So let's get to it. Let's start with the new ones. I have two, like I said. The first one is The Justice of Kings, which I've been really into high fantasy that contain like murder mysteries, and you get one of those in here, a following character who is a justice, which seems to be like you're the detective and the judge all in one. There's a lot of political unrest in that world. It is part of a series, which the last thing I need is to start another series, but I've been seeing it getting more and more good reviews. Some of you actually recommended it in my comment section, so I decided to take the plunge and pick it. So let me know if you've read this and enjoyed it so I can put it higher on my TBR. And the next one is another fantasy, but it is a standalone, so I feel like I'm justifying it that way. Plus, there's only like I think 300 ratings so far on Goodreads, but it did get a shout out from Brendan Sanderson, which made me look into it. And apparently the world building magic system is really intriguing, so wanted to check it out. This is The Dollmakers, and in that world, which seems to be described as cozy fantasy a little bit, which I've been really into, but the mix of the two things are going to be weird. Because yes, cozy fantasy, but also doll makers that create these like demon fighting dolls. Either way, that sounded really intriguing and unique, and I feel like I've been reading more and more fantasy. I'm finally back into it, but I feel like sometimes it can get a little repetitive, so I wanted to try to find something a bit more unique, and I just did a video about my favorite standalone fantasy, and I decided why not to check out more. Found this one, I was like, this is it. This is a sign. So I picked this up, really looking forward to reading that one too. That sounded cool. So as you might know, I have been on a quest to try and find good mystery thriller horror books. For the next 3 months, I will be dedicating at least 1 week trying to find some good ones. And it's just been that difficult. To be fair, I feel like a lot of newer ones are either relying on tropes I don't care about, like cheating husband or like drunk female characters to make her unreliable. Like, I'm so sick and tired of the same things over and over again. The writing has been like so bad. I'm not even super picky with the quality of writing, but some of them, the writing is just appalling. So I try to look for some that have tropes that I enjoy. And I had seen this one on some list online, and I've been keeping an eye out, and I found it. So I'm super excited. This is the Peele One Murder, 15 Suspects. So it's like a lock room concept, which is something that I'm super into. I've read a few books with that trope and enjoy them. So I thought, why not? This one specifically, you're following a troupe of a local theater group. So they're trying to raise money because the director and the main female star's granddaughter is sick with a rare form of cancer. So they're trying to raise the money, and they have this last rehearsal, and there's apparently a lot of drama that happens, and the next morning a body is found. So it has to be one of them. So I'm hoping it's going to work. I thought this was a little bit older, but I think I'm mixing it up with something else because this is 2021. This is definitely not old. But I'm also on the hunt for like older ones that are still popular, because if it survived a test of time, maybe. So if you have any recommendations, again, I'm desperate, let me know. I don't think I can put this in one of my next vlogs because my next category is really popular books, and this one is not that popular. I think there's only 60,000 ratings on Goodreads, which like, it's not bad. But the other category is new releases. And again, 2021, is it new enough? I think I have other contenders, but I am planning on using my library for that. So if I can't get access to all the ones that I want, I'll have this as a backup. I mean, I know people are like really intense about new releases. 2021 is not that new. I still think it's new. So this is going to be a good backup, I think, for that. Plus, again, a trope I enjoy. So that's like a 2-in-1 for me. Next, trying authors that I've enjoyed before. I was excited. I keep seeing more of his books, probably because he's becoming more popular. So people just get rid of people that don't keep their books. I mean, I don't keep all of them on haul every year, but like usually the ones I don't like. Maybe people have different method, but The Haunted House. No, How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Rick. So I've read 2 of his books, Horror Store and My Best Friend's Exorcism, and enjoy them. Again, I'm not usually a huge horror reader, but I feel like he uses classic tropes and just enjoys them fully, and it makes you enjoy them. And I do love a good haunted house story, so I'm hoping that this one will also work for me, because again, 2 out of 2 so far, not bad at all. So would like to try this one too. The next one is a nonfiction. I do not find a lot of nonfiction that are used. They tend to be the same 5 like over and over again. Like if I find Thinking Fast and Slow one more time. I will go cuckoo. And to be fair, this author is everywhere, but this is his newest release, so like I'm okay with it. This is The Song of the Cell. I feel like I do find the one about cancer, biography of cancer, and the one about the genes. I do find them often, but I already own them. But this is, like I said, his newest release. So this is an exploration of medicine and the new human. So I'll let you know how that goes. But I had looked at it a couple times at from my library website, but I never picked it up. And I've read two of the ones. I did enjoy them. It's almost 400 pages, but I have it, so now I have the pressure to finally get around to reading them because these are the books I've been on my shelf for years, and then when I finally got around to reading them, I really like them. So I have another one, same author, different book, but I had read 6 weeks and I enjoyed it, at least the concept specifically, because again, lock room, but in space, like sci-fi, mystery, murder mystery. It's a good mix. And in that world, people can have clones. So everyone wakes up in a new body and they find out that someone murdered all of them. So it has to be one of them. So like really cool concept, good execution, but mostly the concept. So she came out with another book, and I don't think I have seen great reviews of it, but I wanted to give her a second shot since again I enjoyed the first concept that she came out with. And this is Station Eternity. And this one seems to also be a lock room murder mystery in space, but this one is a space station, I believe, like on land. And it's a mix of humans and aliens. Again, I'm a sucker for that trope, so I just wanted to try more. I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy it. Worst case scenario, again, it's a fun concept to explore, so we'll see. But the detective goes to this spot trying to escape, having to solve murder mystery, and then whoops, people start dying again. So speaking of people dying, I usually don't venture much in the murder mystery thriller section in used bookstores because it's so overwhelming. And I don't feel like I know that many books, but this one I saw it and decided to look up what it was about, and I was intrigued. This is They Never Learn, and you're following two women. It might be two women, but at least one woman who is a professor at this university. And every year she looks up who is the worst man that is there and she plans his murder. So I thought, you know what? Why not? I feel like I've been thinking about reading Gone Girl for, again, that challenge, probably for the popular book section. So, like, it would be this month. And I was thinking about that. I saw this and was like, that sounds like another, like, good for her kind of trope, which is just, you know. So I picked it up. I'll try it. We'll see how it goes. If you've read this, let me know because, again, that sounds just like a fun. I think this is considered a psychological thriller. So why not? And then I have some fantasy, which the first one, unfortunately, since I mentioned that I wanted to read this, a few of you told me that it was not great and I had already bought it. So oops, but this is Six Crimson Cranes, which is YA, which that's fine. I feel like sometimes it can be fun, especially if the magic system is interesting, which is what I had heard. But now that everyone has told me it wasn't great, I don't know. I'm going to try it anyway. If I don't like it, I might leave it at a little library close to school or something. I'm sure someone is going to pick up and enjoy it. There's magic. I think her brothers are being transformed into cranes. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm a little less excited now that you've all told me it wasn't good, but whatever. The next one is another first book in a fantasy series, high fantasy series, but you know what? At this point, I might accept my fate that it's going to be hard. I struggle to find, once again, these kind of books at used bookstores. I feel like I don't see them as often unless they're really old books. And I hadn't heard of this one, but decided to give it a shot. This is The Art of Prophecy. This is the War Art Saga. And it's supposed to be an epic fantasy with martial arts, which I really enjoyed the Greenbone Saga, like Jade City, so wanted to try something else a little bit like that. I don't know how similar it will be, but just martial arts. That was like, okay, maybe. And it seems to have like the classic tropes of like Chosen One and everything. So I wanted to try it because, again, I don't find a lot of them, and the cover sounded cool, looked cool. So the next one. Okay, this is where I don't trust my friend. I've been reading some recommendations, either of you or friends, that are like out of my comfort zone. They're supposed to be very readable. Sometimes they're like spicy novels, and it's been fun in like a funny way. I haven't really found all-time favorites that way, but it can be fun to just get out of the comfort zone and just try new things and just not getting into a reading slump. So this book is apparently really readable, but in my defense, I had only seen this cover. And then she gave me this cover, and I'm like, oh, this is Captive Prince. I think this might be YA, but I didn't realize that this was about the prince that is sent from the enemy nation, a pleasure slave. And now I don't know. Do I want to read this? You get to choose. You tell me. Do I want to read this? Do I not? Because again, I had seen this cover and everyone was like, "Oh, it's so readable. I really like it," and like they binge read the trilogy. So yeah, when I saw that in person, I was like, "Oh, I don't think this is gonna work." But you tell me. I'm assuming this is a MLM romance. So you tell me. I might just give it back if nobody tells me I'm gonna like this. Because again, I don't know. I feel like this was a pretty good book haul. I feel like, again, when you buy mostly used, it can be difficult to always find books you're dying to read right now. Sometimes it's just, oh, eventually I want to read them. But I feel like I have some good options for the fall with Lock Room Murder Mystery and like a psychological thriller-ish one. Also the Haunted House one. That's a good option too, even though I just read one more book by the author. But hey, and then a few good fantasy. So I have some options. Definitely let me know which ones I should pick up ASAP, and I will try to. Thumbs up, subscribe. I'll put more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out, including I just did a video about some of my all-time favorite standalone fantasy. And I also did a video recommendation for fall reads, which again, we're going towards fall at this point. So if you want to find more book recommendation, I did it in a like this, try that style. So I'm going to put that on the screen, and I will see you in a cooking video very soon. Bye.